Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. Can you retire on less than $500,000? I see a lot of videos that go around where people talk about how much they invested to reach financial freedom and when they retired. There's a couple of channels that are actually named Retired on $500,000. I want to make this video in case it's your first time to my channel. My name is Dion. I reached financial freedom in about a decade, starting from a pretty bad position, and I invested significantly less than $500,000 to do this. So in this video, we're going to cover the numbers that it took me to reach financial freedom, get out of bad debt, make work completely optional. And we're also going to talk to Millennial Mike, who is currently working in law enforcement, has started his portfolio, and I believe is about a third of the way there on his freedom number. And I think he's about to hit the income snowball where things speed up, and it's going to be a little more challenging for Mike to keep up with what's happening with his portfolio. Mm-hmm. How much do you think you will have to invest to reach your freedom number? And I think we should back up a second and say, what is a freedom number and what is yours?
So your freedom number is the number that you have to be bringing in every month in passive income or alternative income that's not working a 9-to-5 job that will allow you to quit your 9-to-5 job and be financially free, be able to go live where you want, do what you want, with who you want, whenever you want, right? That's the key core concept of passive income and financial freedom. So what's that number? It's different for everybody. You know, I have a small child. I might still get married not get married one day. I might still have a long-term girlfriend one day that I protect all my assets from, and then have more children. And so there's different expenses that I may have in my financially free retirement at a young age than someone who's, in their 50s. Their kids might already be grown. Mine, I think right now, a good number I'm aiming for that would allow me to quit my job is $12,000 a month in passive income. That would be more than I'm currently making by almost, I make about $7,500 after taxes right now a month. So $12,000 a month, I think, will more than cover me, and I won't have to worry. And I'll also want to continue to be able to grow in retirement. So that's my freedom number. Now, how much money do I have to spend to get that freedom number? How much money do I actually have to invest in order to make that realistic? Well, I did a little bit of math here at Dion's advice.
And before you jump into your math, I want to be very specific that this video is not comparing starting and growing a business or investing in stocks or investing in real estate. So if you want to try to compare that, feel free to in the comments below. We both chose buy and hold real estate for a long list of reasons. That doesn't mean somebody can't invest in stocks or start and grow a business and reach financial freedom too. The numbers we're going to be sharing are specifically tailored to 100% investing in buy and hold real estate. And then we diversify in a couple of different ways to protect our portfolio. But this is not a comparison, stocks versus real estate, and how we came up with how much it took for us to invest to reach financial freedom.
So I've got currently right now 13 rental units. Those 13 rental units generate $3,400 a month in straight profit. They bring in way more than that in overall rents, but out of those rents, I've got expenses like mortgages, taxes, insurance, repairs, all that stuff. So I bring in $3,400 a month in straight profit out of those 13 rental units. Now, in order for me to get that $3,400 a month, I had to invest some money. So I totaled up the total amount of money that I invested in order to get that over the last 4.5 years. And that total amount was only $85,000 out of my W-2 income. Now, let me explain why. Because I've spent significantly more than that in purchasing real estate. In fact, if you follow my channel, you might have seen I just bought a triplex all cash for $64,000 like 3 weeks ago. When I started out, I bought a house hack, the duplex I'm in right now. I bought this thing in 2018. Now, over the last 4 or 5 years, it's gone up in value significantly to the point where I created enough home equity in this that I could take a home equity line of credit out. That $125,000 home equity line of credit, often referred to as a HELOC, has been the tool that I have used to buy property after property after property. And then I fix them up. Once they're fixed up, they have a new value. I go to the bank with a property at its new value, and I say, I own this in cash that I used for my HELOC. It's now worth double what it was worth. I want you to give me a loan on this property. They give me a big check for all the money I put into it, plus a little extra. I pay my HELOC off, and now it's completely paid down, and I get to go do the process again. And right now I'm on my 4th property using this recycled capital method. But in order for me to generate this $3,400 a month, which is actually $41,000 a year, which is the equivalent of a full-time $20 an hour job, which is what I was making at about 20 years old. I've replaced my 20-year-old self with passive income already. In order for me to get to this monthly and yearly passive income, I came up with 85 grand in a 4-year period. I've been investing in buying real estate since 2018, end of 2018. It's now 2023 in the beginning. So 4.5 years, I've invested a total of 85 grand out of my W-2 income, which comes out to $21,250 a year. I think that's a relatively achievable number for just about anybody. Sure, maybe you're only making 60 grand. Maybe you have to go a little bit slower than me. Let's say you have to do 85,000 over 8 years, which comes out to only $10,000 a year invested. That's an achievable number for most people on most salaries if you're willing to work the overtime or get the second job or cut back on some of the costs you have currently.
I know that every now and then I get a comment saying, please whiteboard this, but whiteboard videos don't get very many views. So I'm not doing whiteboard videos, and I want to sum up really quick in less than 10 seconds. 4 years, $85,000 to generate $3,500 a month in cash flow.
3,400, almost 35. Yeah.
Okay, so 34. So if you triple that, you come close to your 12,000, right?
Yep.
So your first 4 years, it took you this long to get to 3,500. It's going to speed up a little. So in less than 10 years, you're going to get to your 12,000 a month. I think you're going to find that it's going to go significantly faster than that after the income snowball kicks in.
I think I have 2 years left.
So to try to be as brief as possible, so since we don't have that whiteboard, in about a decade, because I haven't purchased a property since 2021, I'm saving, I'm ready to, I've had 2 offers this week. I have one I'm thinking about making, and I have one that I'm in second position on. So I'm currently looking for that next property. But for a decade, I invested out of my own income, $320,000. So that's how much I have invested to have retired early, because I retired last year in 2022. It generates, after investing, because the thing was I didn't invest this money and it makes this much. I invested this money over a decade, and now it makes this much money. About $17,000, a little more than $17,000 a month, which is about $203,000 according to my taxes. That's how much profit I had last year, of which, just like you, I paid 0 rental income tax on. It's almost like owning rentals is a good thing. Or Congress is full of people who own rentals who keep making laws that benefit people who own rentals. There's a short. But can you retire on $500,000 or less? Yes, in real estate, unless you can't retire on $200,000 a year in cash flow that you don't have to work for. If you have a bigger life than that, maybe it takes more. But for me, the average person, I think I could have retired on half of that. I like having that pad or that buffer there. And I did work in my job 4 years more than I needed to because I really enjoyed my job. I could have retired in 2018. I kept working until 2022. But with buy and hold real estate, not using any of the creative methods that you did, I just saved the down payment, purchased a house, a duplex with a house hack, so a really low down payment, saved the down payment, purchased a duplex, saved the down payment. So $320,000 came from my income. I took the extra cash flow from the rentals that I wasn't working for, and I reinvested that into real estate. So it took a little more than a decade to generate multiple 6 figures. So it's just 2, but $203,000 a year in profit last year for me to retire early. Let me know in the comments below. If you took a decade and you invested, Mike, if you have to triple yours, you put in 85,000. So that's what?
255,000?
250, yeah, something like that. $260,000. So less than 300. I invested around 300, 320. Could you retire on $200,000 a year in profit? If you're watching this video, let me know in the comments below. That's how much it takes to reach a retirable amount of money investing in real estate, but you have to add the element of time.
Right.
Mike's 4 years didn't happen in 4 months. My 10 years didn't happen in 10 months. You are going to have a very slow start. The first couple of years, it feels like almost nothing happens. It's funny that you mentioned, someday you might have a long-term girlfriend and have more kids, because my brother on this trip here to Portugal said something that I thought was fairly accurate. You can also let me know in the comments below. And I said this during my live stream on Tuesday, but here's my brother's life. He travels probably 11 months out of the year. Once in a while, he'll go home and kind of relax for a month. But he has Sea-Doos and quads and side-by-sides and ultralight, and he scuba dives, and he goes all over the world, does all these things. I'm now tagging along. We're in Portugal. We've been to Thailand, to Colombia. We're going back to Thailand. And he said, no, I I would totally have a girlfriend, or maybe even get married again. All I have to do is find a girl I can tolerate. So I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that, but I told him good luck. You do not have to invest millions of dollars. I forget, I think it was Susie Orman. She said in a recent interview that $10 million is not enough to retire on. And the both of us are going to have more cash flow than we need with less than $500,000 invested total. Like if you combined our amounts, it comes up to about $500,000. That's the reason I wanted to make this video. It doesn't take millions of dollars. It does take a few years, hard work, dedication, focus, right out of One Rental at a Time's playbook. Do the work every day and add patience, because those first few years are going to suck. Anything you want to wrap up with, Mike?
Time is the king of all. You know, time is undefeated. All the properties that I purchased created for me only about $250 a month in straight profit on day one. But by year 3, it was significantly more. Now you're looking at $400 a month in profit. And it just gets better from that with more time. So that's why Dion talks about the income snowball. You really do actually have to conceptualize yourself standing at the top of the hill with a little tiny snowball that you're rolling down a hill. And as it starts, it doesn't get much bigger. But then once it hits that terminal velocity, it starts growing exponentially. It really is a graph that's slow, 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 and then boom, it just takes off. And I'm right at that point where it's starting to scale very quickly because all of my rents have gone up. And now because of the HELOC, I'm able to buy more properties quicker, which allows me to scale faster and get more rents and then have the benefit of time so it grows. So trust the process. It's just like going to the gym. You're not going to see results day 1 or even month 6, but by year 2, you might even look half as good as Dion.
But not today.
Takes a lot of beer and pizza to look like this. If you are the average individual and you want to reach financial freedom in 10 years or less, and you don't have time to watch 7,000 hours of content, I did put together a couple of courses. First is the free binder course, where you can learn how to get your tenants to ask you to increase the rent, which is a great strategy that's also helped me to reach financial freedom, because when I bought my properties, just like Mike, I think my average was about $400 a unit. Now they're all over $1,000 a unit in income, partially because of that binder strategy, which I give away for free. You can find a link to that course in the description below. I also give away my spreadsheet for tracking income and expenses on my portfolio and my seller finance letter. And if you want the entire course on how to reach financial freedom, make work completely optional for the average person, or lazy person that I call myself, it's Financial Independence for the Lazy Person. That link is also in the description below. If you have any more questions and you want to reach out to Mike, you can find him at Millennial Mike here on YouTube and on Instagram, which is a platform I will eventually start posting on.
But not today.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Until my next video, thanks for coming to my Dion Talk.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.